Hello mates and welcome to the Baron Reviews with me, the Baron. Today's game is VR Regatta, a VR sailing racing game for the Rift Vive by publishers Marineverse. Now, I don't know anything about boats or sailing, but having played VR Regatta, I feel a little bit wiser. This game is a sailing simulator and in general a relaxing VR experience. Features of this game include learning about the different parts of the boat, learn about wind and sails, and then of course actually sailing the boat in races or just free sail relaxation modes. There's also an experimentation mode which allows you to sail in turbulent ocean waters, as well as a mode that lets you walk around the surface of a galleon. It's still in early access right now, and it feels to me like this game is still finding its identity. In terms of simulation, the game is actually not that deep. I expected to be intimidated because I had no sailing experience, but really the only thing to get used to is understanding the concept of wind in the sail, and there's a tutorial lesson to help you through that. Once you have that concept, the controls are as simple as turning the rudder and pulling the rope to manipulate the sail. The only small annoyance was on the larger ship with the steering wheel, the hitboxes can be a little bit shaky when you're trying to grab the wheel, and I found myself clicking around a few times before I could actually grab the wheel. Other than that, everything is pretty straightforward. There's locomotion in the game for walking around the bigger boats in the form of teleportation, which works perfectly fine for this game. Maps range in time of day, including night sailing. By far my favourite map was actually the experimental ocean. The possibility to change the water turbulence is so much fun, and it was very atmospheric to see huge waves coming crashing down on your boat. The immersion for this mode is really fantastic. Understandably, in terms of simulation, it's probably not very typical to sail a tiny boat in the ocean, but I would still love to see more stuff like this mode. As of now, there's only a limited amount of boats to sail. A small sailboat that's operated by steering and rudder, and a larger yacht with a deck and steering wheel. The graphics overall are good but weaker in some specific areas. The water is great and the rolls of current with light diffraction is all excellent, but the weaker aspect is in the textures of some models. The boat textures are simple but totally fine as the experience is still immersive in VR. However, the textures and models for some of the sea creatures popped out at me as being the weakest link. Not enough to ruin the experience or anything like that, but just an observation. The lighting in the sunsets and sunrises are very good and create a fantastic atmosphere for sailing around. The sounds in the game are good. Great lapping waves, splashing against the boat. Overall the ambience is quite relaxing, though some of the maps are seagull heavy. On the ocean map there are some audio issues with looping water sounds being obvious because of the hard clipping of the loop rather than it being seamless, likely because of the chaos of the water in that scene. As a VR game I felt no VR sickness, which I think is thanks to the cockpit effect of the boat. Interestingly, I also didn't feel a single bit of seasickness despite the sway of the boat. I'm not sure if I was just lucky, but it didn't bother me at all. The closest I came to motion sickness was on the ocean map, and even then that was more of an adrenaline sensation from the big wave drops than actual discomfort. The immersion factor for this game is really high if you sit on the floor, so you can get a great sense of presence sitting in your little boat on the water. If you're a sailing enthusiast, I think this game will definitely appeal to you. Otherwise, I think this game could be good for anyone who wants a chilled out experience of sitting on a boat, looking at the water and soaking in the environment. I anticipate a huge factor in this game's audience is going to be the direction of its development. If the game goes further into the simulation aspects with more interaction in the realistic operations of a boat, I think this will lead to a more satisfying experience for sailing and boat enthusiasts who are out for a more immersive experience. But if the game moves more towards letting players sail more boats, including larger ships like the galleon, and in less realistic circumstances, like the ocean or a dreamscape relax mode, I think it could be more of a goofing around with boats game, and the audience would be wider, but maybe less dedicated. So that's it from the Baron. If you're interested in this game, you can find the link below, and if you like this review, please remember to like and subscribe. So until next time, cheers.